Hi everyone. Before I start this week's Memories Made video, I just want to take a moment and thank everyone for your gracious comments, for stopping by and looking at the videos and watching them start to finish and just having some fun with me on this journey. I appreciate all the time you take to join me as I scrapbook. I make mistakes. You'll see that regularly in my videos, but hopefully what you're doing is realizing that you have a lot of stories maybe that you haven't told, and maybe there's some techniques that we can try together. So let's go ahead and get started with this week's Memories Made video. Hi and welcome to another Memories Made video. I'm designer Jen Gallacher, and today I'm going to show you how you can take your journaling and make it a major focal point on your photo. And how I did that is I created a text box in Photoshop. You can also do this in Microsoft Word. And I filled the box with a coral color that matches some elements I'm going to use on the page. And then I changed the text to white and I spaced it and created a font and a look that matched the page. And it is my husband's and my 20th anniversary soon. And so the journaling just talks about some of the different things, like how many apartments we've lived in, the loss of our oldest son to cancer, and some of the things that we've been through over the 20 years that we've been married. So one way to incorporate journaling to make it a focal point is to blow it up and use the text box. And this always is a fun technique to use. It becomes almost like pattern paper for your layout. We'll go ahead and add that at the top of the layout. And then I have some elements I'm going to add here as well. From Little Yellow Bicycle, there are some fun cork elements. If you already have some cork pieces or corrugated pieces, you could add those to this by die cutting or punching, depending on how thick your cork is. That is a sticker from October Afternoon. Then I have some elements you'll see me use a lot on this page from the Fancy Pants collection. I loved the coral and the teal colors, as well as it has a touch of navy blue in this collection. Let's go ahead and move this up a little bit higher. So I like an unexpected color scheme. And then I have a button that I've tied with twine that I'm going to add to the center of the die cut button. We'll trim off the excess twine. Now I have a photo of my husband and I that I've used before, and sadly I don't take a lot of pictures or have my children take a lot of pictures of us, and so I don't have a lot to choose from. So sometimes I will re-scrap the same photo multiple times, and that is okay. You can do that when you have an element or a story that you want to tell and you already have a photo that works well with it. Then I'm going to add a dots and stripes sheet of pattern paper. This is from Echo Park Paper. The background paper is from American Crafts. But the blue came in because this particular Fancy Pants collection had an element of navy blue in it, and I'm loving the coral with the navy blue right now, so I used that. Then this pattern paper is also from American Crafts. It has a home image to it, and it says home is where the heart is, and several other things like that. And I used a paper punch to create this border, and it's from cream cardstock. And I'm going to rub the edges with some brown stamping ink so that I can distress it up a little bit more. And then I'll just use my fingers to wrinkle it up a little bit. I changed the photo to black and white because the colors did not match. The colors in the photos did not match the colors I've picked for the pattern papers. And so oftentimes you'll see me do that when I am using a stronger color scheme or something that maybe doesn't necessarily match the colors of the original photo. I also printed it a little bit smaller, but you could crop a 4x6 inch photo if that's what you wanted to do. Then from the Fancy Pants die cuts, it's their ephemera pack. There is a girl word card and a boy word card. And I thought that was appropriate for a layout about my husband and I. And we're just going to tuck that behind the house pattern paper. And we'll overlap them slightly. So it says boy and girl. Then from the American Crafts Dear Lizzie chipboard collection, there is a pink heart, and this soft pink appears in some of the Fancy Pants ephemera, which gave me the idea to use it. And then this particular chipboard says "This is Life." It's also from that same collection pack. And we're going to put that right on top of the heart. So after 20 years of marriage, I've discovered that things are not always perfect, and that's okay. The important part is that you just stick with it and keep going. I have some Bella Boulevard pink diagonally striped washi tape that I'm going to add. And when I add washi tape, I typically tear it off and then fold it over. You could also cut it. The title for this page was cut with my Silhouette machine, and it says "Together." And I'm just going to go ahead and ink the back of this die cut using a glue pen. You could also run it through a Xyron machine if that's what you prefer. I prefer the glue pen because then I don't get adhesive in the center of my letters. Sometimes when I run it through the Xyron, I get adhesive right in the center of those letters. But the Xyron machine is a great adhesive, and it's perfect for more solid kinds of shapes. So I'll add the "Together" there. And then what inspired a lot of this color scheme were some tags, also from that Fancy Pants collection. And one says "Call Me," and one has a bunch of collaged vintage elements on it. I'll go ahead and add that to the layout here at the bottom. We'll add the other one next to it. Make sure they align. And then we'll trim off some of that excess twine so it doesn't cover the title. So then I have a paper punch from Fiskars that I've used to punch 2 small hearts from some My Mind's Eye pattern paper. And I'm going to ink the edges. And I made sure that the teal dot pattern paper matched the teal colors in my elements, as well as the American Crafts house pattern paper. We'll use some glue dots to adhere these to the "Call Me" tag. So typically when I have a die cut, I like to embellish it a little bit more than how it appears. And so even though it came plain, you can add additional elements, such as I can use a enamel dot in the center of the telephone. You can see it just adds a little bit of dimension. To this bottom tag, I am going to add this definition that says "Love," and I'm going to cut it off a little bit. And we'll adhere it to the side of the tag, so it overlaps a little bit. And then from the same die cuts as the heart and "This Is Life" came from, I have a chipboard arrow. Arrows are a popular shape right now, and I'm going to put that on top of the "Love" definition. We're going to put it on vertically. Then I have a Mistables from Studio Calico, and I could add mist to this or I can stamp on it, but I'm actually just going to use it as is because I like the elements of white that match my journaling. And then I have another teal button that I'm going to add to the center of the butterfly. And I've already put some twine in it, and we'll just cut off that excess twine. So I try and repeat things. I have the button up here, I have the button down here. We'll add a few more enamel dots to the layout, just to give it a bit more dimension. So there you have a layout in which the journaling became the focal point of the layout, and it's the first thing that your eye sees, and it will help the person looking through my scrapbooks read a little bit about my feelings about being married after 20 years. Thank you for joining me for today's Memory Made video. Be sure to visit my blog for the complete supply list for creating this layout, and look for a new video coming soon.